Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we're joined by the NSIC Diver of the Year, Avery Lommel of the Augustana Swimming and Diving Team. Avery, thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, as we do each week, let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yep, so I'm Avery Lommel. I'm a freshman here at Augustana. I'm obviously on the swim and dive team, and I'm majoring in nursing.
All right, a true freshman, you said, from Delano. Why did you choose Augustana to continue your athletic and academic career?
I chose Augustana mainly because of the academics. They have a very good nursing program here, and that's what I'm planning on going into. And then I wanted to dive in college, so I visited a few schools, and this one was definitely my first pick. I felt very connected to the team right away, and I really love the coach, and I just felt like Sioux Falls was the right place for me.
Good start for you. As a freshman, you said we're fresh off the NSIC Swimming and Diving Championships last weekend that were held at the Midco Aquatic Center down there in Sioux Falls. For someone who's never been to a swim meet, how do you describe the atmosphere?
I would say it's very loud, but like in a fun way. At the NSIC championships, it's a lot of good teams and everyone's like really close, and the races are like 0.5 sometimes between 1 and 2. So it's very exciting to watch. And I think being on a team is even more fun because obviously you're rooting for your team and cheering with everyone. And it's just a super fun and uplifting environment.
And the Vikings came away with their second straight NSIC team championship. You earned NSIC Diver of the Meet after winning both the 3-meter and 1-meter dives. Talk about your preparation leading into the prelims in the afternoon and then the finals every evening.
I would first start the day off with a good breakfast because what's most important for me is to be fueled and to feel energized and ready for the day. So I would eat a good meal, and then I would go watch the prelim swimming and cheer on my team, kind of like hype me up a little bit. I always listen to music and stretch, but I try not to be too intense because I tend to do better when I'm relaxed and like having fun with my team. And for finals, kind of the same thing. I really like to watch all the swimmers first and then try to like leading up to diving, maybe like 30 minutes before, change, listen to my music and stretch and try to get focused in for diving.
So when you focus or mentally prepare for each dive, what's going through your head as you're about to leave the board?
For me, I try to focus on like 1 or 2 things that are very important for the dive because I've learned that trying to change something in a dive when you're competing, it doesn't work very well because you're kind of showing what you've been training, so you don't want to change too much while you're diving. So I try to focus on like staying tall or staying slow and calm on my board work, just little things like that.
And then what are some of those, you mentioned a little bit there, but the behind the scene things that go into a dive that most people might not know about?
Yeah, I think it's a little confusing. A lot of people are kind of like what do you do for practice in diving? Like I think when people imagine it, it's just like jumping off the board and stuff, which it is, but I think there's a lot more that goes into it that a lot of people don't know. Like when we have a practice during the regular season, we usually focus on one category, like fronts, backs, inwards, reverses, whatever it is. And then leading up to meets, we do our lists for our upcoming competitions. And then I also think another thing is like degree of difficulty. That plays a big part in diving because if your degree of difficulty is higher and you get higher scores, then your total score is going to be higher. So that's kind of something that you learn as you go on in diving.
Well, definitely worked out for you this weekend as you earned 40 points for the Vikings at the championships. But tell us about some of those teammates that helped secure that team championship.
Yeah, so my girl teammates, Claire Duplessis, Kate Robbins, and Maggie Zerlong, they've helped me so much. I think that's one of the most important aspects for me is the team. And I don't think I would be where I am without them. They're always so supportive and I just love being with them. Then the boys team, David Binsfeld, Kaden Kavanaugh, and then Jace Champlin, they're a great support system too. They came to every session. And then of course, my coach, Shelby Bartlett, she is great. She always knows what to say, how to calm me down. And I wouldn't be where I am without them.
Yeah, and headed to national championships. Those are set for March 12th through the 16th at Spire Institute in Geneva, Ohio. Your dives met the qualification standards to compete, but walk us through the process of diving events at the NCAA championships.
Yep, so I'm not sure of the specific date, but the Tuesday leading up to nationals, and that's where all the divers that qualified, we go to another qualifying meet to actually get into nationals. So all the divers compete there, and then a certain amount, I think it's based on your place,
Yep.
then go to either Thursday and Saturday, 1 meter, 3 meter, or you can qualify for both. So we'll see what happens on that Tuesday.
So another qualification meet, I believe it's 22 individuals on the women's side advance to the finals there. So as you head into that, what are your personal and team goals for the NCAA championships?
I would like to make it past the Tuesday. If I don't, I'm not gonna be upset about it or anything, but I think the main thing that I wanna do is just to enjoy the experience and have fun. I think I'm very happy I made it and I just wanna enjoy it.
All right. And the final question we have for you, what advice would you give to a young diver to help them in their development?
Yeah, I would say diving is a sport where failing happens very, very often, if not every day. And I would just say stick with it, push through the hard days because those are what makes the good days like so much better. And I think having those bad days really help with development, and in the end, it's all worth it. So I would just say stick with it.
Some good advice. Failure, it's a very good teacher. So, all right,
Mhm.
that's going to wrap up this week, Joe. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Avery, best of luck to you and the Vikings at the swim championships.
Thank you so much.